Hi. Hello. Hi. There we go. I was trying to get that clap right. Am I back and alive? That was fun. Hello, everyone. Hi. We had our final show at the London Palladium, and we invited all of our YouTube pals. We had loads of people come. We had PJ and Sophie and Felix and Marzia and Dean Dobbs and Ben Cook and Louise and loads of people. We invited a ton of people, and they all came. It was like the birthdays that I've literally never had. Except not so narcissistic, because like it was there for an event. It wasn't just like, let's celebrate my existence. Not that that's a bad thing. You should celebrate your existence every day. You're special. Then we had an after party, which was pretty fun. And you guys saw that me and Phil, we chose a venue, and then we were like, can we have themed cocktails? I love a cocktail because it's just a fun world of adventure when it comes to taste.
So Phil went for a mostly coconut-based drink that was basically like pineapple juice and coconut syrup and like coconut foam and like more foam and then some more syrup, and that was the fill. And I think people decided that if you had about more than 3, you'd probably die. The priority for mine was that it was black, so they ended up going with coffee-flavoured tequila, which was controversial, but I do like both of those things with vanilla, so it looked like my soul.
For us to go straight to America for a book signing tour, as someone sent me a message. How was New York, LA, Chicago? Well, let's go into that. Are you going to sell more jumpers on Dan and Phil shop, said cheerful Lister. More sweaters. Look what I've got here on the floor next to me. Unintended spawn. Is this even the right one? No, it's a sample that doesn't even have them on it. Whoops. There. Is that one over here or is that another one? Wait, let me just... No, that's another sample. There we go. Well, there's an amazing... Wait. Is this... No, that's another sample. Okay, there we go. We made new merch on Dan and Phil shop, as I was trying to say, as I scrambled across the things. We tweeted about it. You can go to danandphilshop.com to check out the new merch. Made a calendar, 2016 calendar. Dan and Phil get to work. What it would look like in various alternative universes where Dan and Phil tried to have different jobs. And we thought it would be really funny. I don't think we intended it to be slightly sexual. I'm not... it wasn't intended, but the whole thing looks like we're on the verge of stripping. We don't like working with people, for example, book publishers, as lots of people do, and just saying, hey, I'll provide the words, or I'll provide the concept, and then you make it all. Like, some people, there's differing levels of involvement. For me and Phil, everything from, like, the marketing of it that other people did on our behalf. It's like we wanted to read it so like it wasn't cringe and that it wasn't explained in the wrong way. And there's some of it that we just couldn't, like some of it just happens and we don't realise and we're like, oh no, we don't, oh that's out there and we didn't like that. But sometimes, you know, you try your best, but you don't succeed. And a good example of this is American book signings. They were supposed to tell us how they were going to work. And once we'd said, yep, it's all good, and give us a time, then we would announce it for everybody. But one day we just woke up and apparently all the websites had gone live and the one that was ticketed had just been completely sold out before we woke up. So firstly, sorry on your behalf to you guys that we didn't formally announce our US book signings. Sneaky guys, they told us that 2 of the signings in America were ticketed when they weren't. First come, first serve is a really crap way of doing any kind of signing or meetup. It wasn't a smooth operation, and then as some of you guys might have seen, as I was leaving the book signing in New York, there was an angry dad, and the angry dad was shouting in our direction, saying, blah, 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 and loads of people on the internet were like, oh my god, what's happening? I've seen a video of an angry dad, and it's like, I can appreciate that without any context, it's like, what happened? I heard there was this video, basically.
Daddy, please don't harass us.
Oh my god, 15 more. You can't. They're paying your rent. Oh my god. 15 more girls here. Sorry, is that decision? Do you want to sign with your publisher?
God, I guys, listen.
more minutes.
My daddy's yelling at me.
What's a good pun? Give me a pun. I have no idea what it is.
That's fine. They're going to give you your books and they'll sign it.
Phil! 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 Bye, guys. Bye.
Naughty person in the store let the dad come into the store after the line was cut off and didn't tell them that didn't let them get into the meetup. So this dad just kind of stuck around for 3 hours and nobody told him, which is terrible. And people were saying I was sassy. I wasn't sassy. At first I was like, cheeky, what's happening? But I was totally on the side of the dad. You shouldn't ever shout at somebody. Like, there were opinions flying about, like, I'm fine, it's fine. And obviously, like, I don't think shouting at anybody is the right way to resolve any situation. But if you look past the angry dad and just look at the dad, and then we tried to make it better for LA, but silly Barnes & Noble did the same thing. There were people waiting all day. Like, we saw people, and they were like, hi, and we're like, how are you? And they said, I'm good. I've been awake since 1 a.m. And I'm like, oh my god, this is terrible. So, bad first come, first serve. But then we went to Chicago, and we went to a lovely, independently owned bookshop called Anderson's that was run by a family, and it was ticketed, so everyone turned up. It started snowing, and we had a lovely time. Apparently Phil's watching. Hi, you're watching me rant about Kanye. Good time to tune in, Phil. But honestly, how do you feel about your poll results? Yeah, firstly... Sorry about the poll. I don't know if that's like Dan. Dan, you can't make that joke. But, hey, I saw the opportunity for a new shitpost using a new Twitter feature, and I just had to go for it. So I formally apologise for being such a horrendous human being. Dad's won by 54. That is close. I was wondering, past the joke, what is the answer to this? Is it going to be 83% sons? Or is it going to be 90% dads? And it was right down the middle. I mean, that was basically a draw. So, I mean, I don't know how to feel about that. Essentially, it was completely pointless for any actual purposes whatsoever. But thank you and sorry.